Your life experience, good or bad, is a gift when you share it with others. At Taxi Chronicles, we allow real riders with real stories to share their gift. So hopefully this episode will intrigue, enhance or inspire you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Morning. Yes, we're back with another rider, another story. Today with a lovely pair of sisters all the way from South London.
Woo!
And they are nurses, and they're going to tell us what it's like, the journey of becoming nurses as black inner London girls from what now is seen as a posh area. And just share their experience. So nice to have you here today, ladies.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
What's your names?
My name's Aisha.
And my name's Lisa.
Okay, so Lisa and Aisha, nice to have you here today. So tell me, why nursing?
I don't know why nursing. I just feel like I've always been good at looking after people. And I've always enjoyed looking after people, and it's just something I've always wanted to do. And I do children's nursing, and I just love children, working with their families. So I just feel like I was in hospital once getting a couple of teeth taken out, and I had this really nice nurse, and I'd never been in hospital before, and I had this surgery, and she was so nice, and I came out of surgery and she brought me toast, and she was just so lovely, and I just thought like I could do that, and ever since then I've just wanted to be a nurse, really.
Yeah.
How old were you then when you had the teeth out?
I think I was at 13.
Okay.
I was about 13, 14.
10 years ago.
So about 10 years ago, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So my story is a little bit deeper, not a little bit deeper. So mine starts in church. So when I was growing up, I went to church with my family, and my mum was a Sunday school teacher where they have the children apart from the older bits, and then they do their little Sunday school teachings there. So I used to be my mum's almost teaching assistant, and then as I aged, I became a teacher, and I always loved children. I always loved working with them and seeing them grow, and having that impact on a child's life. As they say, children are the future, so I've always felt passionate about working with children. So when I went to college, there was an opportunity for me to either go into musical theatre or musical arts, or go into the healthcare field, and I just kind of felt drawn to the healthcare field almost. So that's kind of where my journey started, and yeah, it's been quite the journey. Quite the journey. No, we don't work together at the moment, but we did at one point.
We used to work together.
Yeah, but we went through university together.
And what uni did you go to?
University of Surrey.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest hurdle that you experienced during your time at university?
Mental health.
Listen, university was the hurdle, if we can say that. I don't think anything can ever prepare you for university. Especially growing up as young black women coming from an African background, it's always oh my God, you must go to university. No one actually tells you what it's like. It was an experience. It was an experience, definitely.
There was definitely some highs, but there was definitely some lows as well at uni.
Right, give us a low, give us a high. If you was warning your children, what would you say?
Don't do nothing.
I feel the hardest year of uni is second year.
Yeah.
I think first year doesn't really count. It's a bit of a doddle, really.
Yeah.
And then second year, it's
things start to matter.
You're living in an apartment or a flat or whatever. You're paying for that rent. You're also
bills,
studying.
You've got rent.
Full time. It is quite stressful.
Yeah.
It does get to your mental health.
Placement
was stressful.
Yeah. So we are from cohort 2017. So so the government didn't fund our nursing program, whereas the previous years they did fund it. So before, nursing was free. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden we get to university now and we're paying £9,250 a year to become a nurse. And on top of that, 50% of our course is placement, meaning we're working for the NHS for free. For 3 years.
So 50% of the placement is practice and 50% of the degree is theory. So you only spend half your time in uni and the other time you spend on wards, on units, getting
12.5-hour shifts.
But you work full time for free. Yeah. So on top of that, you need to have a job to be able to pay for a roof over your head and to be able to pay to get to placement. So balancing all that on top of assignments and you know, just looking after yourself, self-care, like it was
very challenging. It was very challenging. At moments we were working almost like 60-70 hours a week just to pay the rent.
It was exhausting.
Very, very exhausting. Yeah, we've been through it.
But the thing about us is like we never wanted to give up.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many times where we could have dropped out and been like, why are we doing this? But we held it. We held it together. Yeah. We wanted to finish what we started.
Definitely.
And obviously now we're nurses, so we did it.
We've been a year graduated now. So yeah.
How's that year been? Has it been as stressful as...
Well, we've had this conversation before and it's so funny because when we did our nursing degree, we never expected to be working for a fucking pandemic. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear or not. That's how it's been.
Yeah, COVID definitely shook everything.
As a student, we were working and it was normal and we were like, this is what it's going to be like when we finish our 3 years. And then obviously COVID hit and we were working as students full time during a pandemic. It was the first for people that was working in the NHS their whole lives. It was crazy.
Yeah. I don't think anything could have prepared us for
it's not what we signed up for.
No. This is not what was advertised when we went to university, a whole global pandemic. But
so yeah, it was definitely a mad time to start our nursing career.
Yeah.
You spoke about mental health during uni. How did you manage your mental health?
Well, for me, I just thought it was stress.
Definitely.
Like, I thought I was just stressed, and I thought once I finished, like, I said to myself, once I finish this placement or once I finish this assignment, like, I'll be all right. And then I realised that it wasn't. And it was one of my friends that actually said to me, like, Ash, like, I think you have got anxiety. I think you've got depression. I think you're suffering from stress. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm fine. Like, everyone goes through it. It's uni. And it took a long time, but eventually I did go to the doctors and I did seek help from the doctors and I did go to therapy and all this kind of stuff, and that really helped me. But it took a long time. Yeah. It took a really long time.
I mean, I was there. I mean, I feel like we went through phases. We were there to pick each other up. But at the same time, I must say, I feel like university does give you mental health problems. There's not enough support for the young people that do go to university. The pressure that you feel to live, it's a drastic change going from living with your parents to living by yourself, paying bills, surviving. And if you don't have that support system, it can be very, very difficult to cope.
Now, London's full of hospitals.
Yes.
So you chose to go to uni that's a bit far away.
Yeah, outside London.
Did you not think maybe I should stay at home and just go to uni down the road?
To be fair, I did not really understand how much the nursing degree would differ from a normal degree.
Yeah.
So obviously in a normal degree you have 3 years, you have like 1 year placement, whatever. Like through nursing it's the whole 3 years you're on placement. To be honest, looking back on it, if we stayed at home we probably would have saved a shitload of money.
At the same time,
but at the same time, you do want the uni experience, especially when you're like 18. You're like, I want to go off to uni, I want to experience that. And obviously, what I did is
character building.
I kind of, where I only went to uni in Surrey, in first year I lived in halls, in second year I got a flat with the girls, and in third year I was like, yeah, I'm done paying rent, like I'll move back home. And I just started commuting. So I feel like I got all three.
You
like
got the whole experience.
I got the best of all three of them.
What I say is like, I feel like you gotta get out. You have to experience. I feel like it builds character. It makes you who you are. I feel like if I had stayed home for the 3 years, I wouldn't have known anything about the real world. I would have just been sheltered in that little bubble with your parents, where they provide for you. They do everything for you. So, I feel like it was one of the best experiences and the worst experience.
Yeah. It was really good for my independence.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really, and for my money saving. I got really good at saving money once I moved out of the house, which I probably wouldn't have got if I stayed at home.
Yeah.
But obviously, it does propel you into like adulthood pretty quickly, doesn't it?
When you started the university course, the numbers where you started to where you ended up, as in students.
Yeah.
Was there a big drop? Was there like a 50?
There was a couple of friends that didn't make it.
I feel like by the end of second year, like, we had declined by maybe like 45%.
There was a few people that didn't make it, and it's really hard because in the world of nursing, I feel like it's so different to other degree, because it's like in nursing we have to write essays at uni, and it's like that's not what nursing is about. So you could be the most amazing nurse, have the best bedside manner, but if you're shit at writing an essay, you're getting kicked out of uni.
Or vice versa. Like, if you're not good in the clinical skills, the clinical side of it, but in the theoretical side you're doing really good, you still won't make it. You have to have an equal balance of both.
And that's what stressed me out, because I thought when I'm on placement, like, I know that I'm a good student nurse, but then when I was struggling to write assignments and all that kind of stuff, it just made us thought this could be my downfall. Like, this could be why I get kicked out, because I wrote a shit essay. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like in first year they did tell us, like, straight out, like, half of you are not going to be here next year.
They did say that.
They did tell us
They did say that, from the stress of it
it's
all.
a hard course.
And how difficult the course
mentally
is.
it's a lot.
But there's a lot of people that I feel like would have made really good nurses, but they
didn't make it.
They just didn't make it.
Do you think the written side is because articulation is very important when you're dealing with medicine?
I agree, and the thing about nursing is there's so much you can do in nursing. Like, there's research nursing, there's all this kind of stuff.
That's it. It's the whole research bit.
You can't spend the whole 3 years doing clinical stuff if you one day want to be a research nurse. So you get the full scope at uni, and then you decide what you want to do. And obviously it helps to be able to read and write, like we have to write notes, all that kind of stuff.
And
but
I feel like with nursing as well, like, you have to keep up to date with the new policies. Like, times are changing, everything changes every single day. So being able to read literature and actually understand it and have that impact your nursing is very important part of the job.
A lot of the nurses write policies at their work and all that kind of stuff. So I guess it is important, but at the same time, it's
an evolving profession, really. You just got to keep up to date.
What does the future hold for you two?
Hopefully a lot.
Well, so obviously, like, with nursing, there's bands, so you can move up the bands. So when you come out of uni, you're a band 5 nurse, and you can move up to a band 6, which is like a sister, a band 7, which is a ward manager or something, or band 8, which is like the matron. So I would like to work up. I feel like it's nice being a nurse, but I would like to work up. I feel like the higher up you go, the more impact you can make, almost. Because you hold a place at that table and you have more of a say. And plus, anything to get me off the ward. Anything to get me off the ward sometimes. So I think that I'd love to do nursing abroad. I'd love to work somewhere
Oh my god,
else.
I was going to say that.
I'd love to be able to compare another healthcare system to ours and all that kind of stuff. So I'd really I could see myself doing that if possible.
Like, when I started nursing, I always said I was never going to work for the NHS for the rest of my life. I've always wanted to go to Canada, maybe do nursing there.
See, I think I'd want to go to Dubai for a bit, you know.
Really? Oh, the money there's good. We shouldn't talk about money, but I mean it is a job.
They don't pay tax, do they?
No, the money there's sweet. But definitely overseas nursing.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
You could go there and work together.
That I think we need to. We used to work together, a lot of students, and we had our fun.
It
would be so nice for us to work together again. They'd never put us on shifts together.
What have you learnt that you wish you knew when you had started throughout this whole thing?
I would say it doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier. I mean, they do say it does, but at the moment, there's still challenges. Like, I feel like with nursing, you're constantly overcoming fears, you're constantly overcoming obstacles, that it just feels like you're never getting anywhere. But the growth is there. It just takes a lot to see it. What would you say?
I would tell myself that I can do it, because there was loads of times where I thought I couldn't. I would tell myself I can do it, and it does get easier. And I would just believe in myself a lot more, and just tell myself I'm a lot more capable than I think I am. Because I think sometimes in a lot of situations, if I had a bit more belief in myself and didn't beat myself up so much, I wouldn't have made it so hard for myself.
It's about celebrating little
now
wins.
I look back, I'm like, why didn't you love yourself? Like, why were you so hard on yourself?
Definitely.
I only asked, what's your heritage?
I'm from Ghana.
I'm from Nigeria.
You've never considered getting some experience there?
Do you know what? I have thought about this, but I've heard stories, and their healthcare system does differ a lot to ours, and we like the stuff like the mortality rates and all that kind of stuff. Like, I do think that'd be really hard for me.
Yeah, like, I mean, I have heard horror stories.
But at the same time, I do think, like I said, I'd love to be able to compare our health system to another healthcare system.
Definitely.
And just see how it differs and bring maybe my skills and what I could do to help. I don't really know, but I have thought about it, but I don't know if I'll probably crack. I'm probably not tough enough.
When I was in uni, I did think, because I'm Nigerian, I did think about doing my youth service, which is a thing that they have in Nigeria, where when you finish like higher education, you work for the government for free for a whole year, and that's kind of like certifies your Nigerian citizenship. I wasn't born in Nigeria, but my parents were born in Nigeria and they migrated here. So I've always been in touch with my Nigerian heritage. Like, I always say I'm not from this country. I'm Nigerian. I was born in the village. Like, I really, I'm down with it. But like COVID happened and everything like went left, so it wasn't even an option for me at the time. So, but it is something that I am very interested in doing.
And my last question to you two, you've been great guests.
Thank you so much for having us. I hope we haven't been rambling too much.
Go away. What's the impact you want to have on the world?
I don't know, like, without making it all like corny and cheesy, but
I just want to help people, to be honest. Like, the joy I feel when I'm making an impact in somebody else's life, like, I just know that this person is going to grow up and become something so much greater than me, or something so much greater, and I'm just doing a small thing in their life to help them along that journey. That's where I get my kick.
I just feel like even sometimes at work, when I get like, sometimes parents will leave reviews after and all that kind of stuff, and they'll say all this stuff that I've done, and I don't even remember doing it. I'm like, that's just me doing my job. Like, but it was like, they were like, thank you so much, and it made my time so bloody blah. So I just think, just helping people, helping black women, giving black women a voice,
representing,
an equal platform, opportunities, all that kind of stuff, paving the way. If
being
I
an
advocate.
Definitely.
Now I'm qualified, I don't realise that people say students look up to me. I'm like, what the hell? Like, look up to me, I barely know what I'm doing. But I would love to be someone that because I remember being a black student nurse and looking up to other black nurses and being like, when I qualify, I want to be like her, like she is bossing it.
Amazing.
So
a lot of support for black women in the nursing industry there.
I don't think specifically.
No, not
I
specifically.
think if you choose to seek support in other black nurses, like, we are very, like, everyone's very open.
Yeah.
Like, anyone is your auntie. You're like, I've got mums at work.
Yeah.
Like, I've got mums at work all the time. But I feel like you have to seek that. There's nothing really offered to you by the trust or by the service.
And I feel like going to university in Surrey, there's not enough representation with the black nurses there. I can't name any. I can't name any of the black nurses or lecturers that were ever.
Is there many black people in Surrey?
No, we're definitely a minority, a very, very small minority.
That's amazing. Okay. I'll just give you a little prophecy. I foresee a YouTube or podcast coming from you ladies.
I'm down. I love
and
this.
I think it should be called INL, a journey of the medical industry, or
I love it.
Nursing.
I absolutely love
or
it.
Sisters, INL sisters.
I like
and
it.
you just do what you do.
Yeah.
You tell your story. You give your ins and outs.
You've got stories to tell.
You read a comment. But
That's
you
the
can
thing,
also
though. I
inform
forget
the
that we've
public
got stories to
of the
tell.
do's and don'ts when you come to the
And that's the
hospital.
thing, we could offer a lot for students. I feel like where we've only qualified quite recently, remember everything. So we could obviously offer a lot of do's and don'ts and how to finish your way through a placement, basically.
So I will say this on record, if you want some guidance putting your thing together, feel free to reach out, DM.
Thank
And
you.
I'll push you in the right direction.
Thank
And we look to hearing from you.
It's been a
in
pleasure.
due
Thank you
time.
for having us.
Thanks a lot. And one last thing, ladies. Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is _LXSALDN.
And I'm also on Instagram. My username is Aisha, AISHA, O Lewis, LEWIS.
Well, thanks a lot for that.
Thank you.
And we wish you well.
We hope you liked that Taxi Chronicles interview. Don't forget to share and subscribe to get the latest episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economies and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources. Listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. British Standard Time.